Hey there everyone, this is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth. And why work when you can just get free money, right? The idea that a universal basic income may disincentive some people to work doesn't seem to be on Ontario's radar. The fascist government of Kathleen Wynne is now planning to send a monthly check to Ontario residents. It's starting an experiment now in basic income guarantees. So it seems that the bailouts and all the quantitative easing hasn't exactly been working out for the Keynesians as they've expected, and now it's time to just bail out the so-called mainstreet, which, by the way, is probably more politically savvy than bailing out bankers. It's the last refuge of bad economics. Just print money and give it to people to spend so that they can, quote, stimulate the economy. Of course, that's not how economies work. You need actual savings and production before you can consume anything. But of course, in this statist nightmare, it's all about consumer spending. Debts and deficits be damned. But it's not just Ontario right now. Finland and Japan are also interested in sending out monthly checks to people for doing absolutely nothing. And Ontario seems to think that a basic income would strengthen the attachment to the labor force, which is so counterintuitive it might actually be believable. This is, after all, the province that re-elected the Liberals to a majority government. As well, the so-called conservative opposition is floating around this idea of a carbon tax. And meanwhile, the Ontario government is far from running a surplus, which begs the question, who exactly is paying for this basic income? And what happens when a recession hits and people are out of jobs and tax revenues fall? What then? Tax the basic income to provide basic income? We clearly have learned nothing from the collapse of the Soviet Union, or why the Chinese communists had to open up China's markets in order to stay in power. But eventually this lesson will be learned. Either that or the elite are going to completely wipe out the human race, and it's not going to be through bombs and genocide and war, but it's going to be by destroying the free economy, the bedrock of civilization. Thanks for watching, guys. Check the description for all the sources to this video. Be sure to subscribe and support us on Patreon. And stay tuned, guys. We've got more videos coming soon to pressfortruth.ca.
The Fed is a corporation, and the only stockholders in that corporation are the nation's banks. Well, it's impossible for for a corporation to go against its stockholders. So, and we see that in the revolving door, back door between the Fed and the banks.